of Turkey, Mr. Mehmet Fatih Kacır. Hoş geldiniz.
Now I'm feeling that I'm the only one on the stage who is wearing a tie. But this is how to be a minister. Dear participants, entrepreneurs, investors, and leaders of corporates, I'm pleased to be at this magnificent event where ideas come together to change the life and the world. And to be honest, despite all advancements in high-tech in human history, we still couldn't yet bring the happiness and prosperity to all edges of the world. Life expectancy in many sub-Saharan countries are still below 50 years. Millions of people still cannot reach the health applications and medicines when they need them. There is a threat of terrorism in many regions, and wars didn't end. So, being here with young entrepreneurs is not only important for me because people in this room have excellent ideas to commercialize, to make more money, but rather it's great because people who aim to create a fairer world have come together here in Istanbul, which is the city of cultures and civilizations. Let me share with you what's the startup ecosystem meaning for Turkey. It's the core of National Technology Initiative, which is the ultimate target of our government, being self-sufficient and then having a competitive power in high tech. Actually, I have to say that it's a plan which is in parallel with the spirit of age. Since the global financial crisis in 2008 and then COVID pandemic in 2020, free trade rules are neglected by countries who themselves were the rule makers of the free liberal economy. Instead, those countries are focused now to attract manufacturing again on their own lands so that they can increase the level of self-sufficiency. Even before this trend, Turkey began with National Technology Initiative. And the locomotive of this program in our country has been defense technology to help our country in fight against terrorism, while we cannot buy the defense systems when we need them, even if we were ready to make necessary payments for them. So Turkey created an impressive success story in defense tech. But how? In the 20th century, we weren't a producer of aircrafts, helicopters, rockets, or tanks. How could we succeed in a sophisticated area where we were at beginner level only 20 years ago? The answer consists of three parts: high-level dedication, investment in human capital and innovation, and focusing on paradigm shifts. The Defense Executive Committee, chaired by the President, is making long-term plans to meet the needs for security, but also regarding the advancements in critical technologies. The most valuable part of this journey is human capital. The median age of Turkey is 33, so we are 10 years younger than Europe and 15 years younger than many European countries like Germany. Regarding that, we established an innovation ecosystem. 101 technoparks, where 9,800 companies are making R&D studies and innovation projects, 1,600 R&D and design centers in private sector, more than 60 accelerator programs simultaneously continuing in many different cities in the country, and now 272,000 R&D people in Turkey. This impressive progress could happen thanks to the government supports, incentives, and subsidies. And the last but not least, which completes the pieces, is choosing the right direction, the right roadmap, I mean. While others are ahead of us in traditional ways, focusing on new paradigms and futures technologies has been the smartest way to beat them in the race. Most popular example is the championship of Turkey in drone technologies. We weren't the producer of fighter jets, I mean F-16s, Eurofighter Typhoons, or Su-57s, but in drone technologies, we were at the same level with the producers of them. Actually, even ahead of them in some areas, because their mindset was old-fashioned. So in summary, defense tech taught us how to make a miracle happen. Now, as Minister of Industry and Technology in Turkey, my focus is to multiply this success story to other verticals. As a manufacturing powerhouse in Europe, we are transforming the industrial base with digitalization and green technologies. Turkey's automobile, TOG, is the signal flare of that transformation. It's an electric and smart car, made in Turkey, designed by Turkish engineers, with a Turkish brand, and it's the pioneer of transformation of the automotive industry of the country, which is the #1 exporter sector of our country. And that transformation is and will be the accelerator of mobility startups. TOG already has a joint work with more than 30 different Turkish startups. So having key pioneer brands in different sectors who are pioneering the transformation and accelerating startups is one of our main approaches for startup ecosystem in our country. Creating a startup-friendly financial base is also a must to have a coherent startup strategy. TÜBİTAK and KOSGEB supports play a critical role in the scale-up of Turkish startups. We are also broadening the startup ecosystem with funds and fund-of-fund programs. We initiated the Tech Invest TR program, activating a fund of $200 million. And through Technology and Innovation Fund, Regional Development Fund, Regional Venture Capital Fund calls by our regional development agencies, and Bilişim Vadisi Venture Capital Investment Fund, we invested $300 million in more than 180 ventures. And those investments have created a leverage effect, resulting in over $1 billion in investment to those startups. And we also initiated a policy to urge big companies who are getting big benefits from our supports in technoparks or in their R&D centers to make investments to VC funds and startups so that they have invested only in 14 months in more than $250 million to tech startups in Turkey. And another important issue is the framework of innovation-friendly regulations. We have established the Entrepreneurship Council to lead policies and projects to create regulations in favor of innovation. One of our major goals is to have 100,000 startups in 2030 and to reach 100 unicorns from Turkey. Actually, we call them Turkorns, to reach 100 Turkorns emerging from our country by that year. And our goal with 100 Turkorns is not only for those ventures to reach $1 billion valuation. We aim for these scaled-up enterprises to bring hundreds of new startups into the ecosystem. The first Turkish unicorn, the first Turkorn from our ecosystem is Peak Games. And it's a significant example of this the number of startups that have emerged from this venture has now exceeded 70. So I mean, more than 70 startups were born from Peak Games. A major source of pride in our entrepreneurship ecosystem is, sure, female entrepreneurs. In this regard, we are ahead of many countries in the world. And the fact that four of our 7 Turcorns were founded by female entrepreneurs is a significant indicator of this. And actually, both Türkiye Technology Team Foundation, Teknofest, and also this grad event, Takeoff, are all led by women. For us, one of the most means to implement our entrepreneurship strategy is through Teknofest and Takeoff. When we held our first Teknofest in 2018, we received 20,000 applications for the competitions at Teknofest. And look at here, where we have come only in 5 years. This year, we had 337,000 teams and more than 1 million competitors in Teknofest competitions. And born out of Teknofest, and now a distinct brand in its own right, Takeoff has become the largest startup event in the region, turning into a meeting point for entrepreneurs, investors, and executives around the globe. And this year, at Off Istanbul, 200 startups have come together, and among them, 79 startups emerged from the Teknofest competitions. On this occasion, I want to thank the entrepreneurs who have shared their passions, ideals, and goals with us on this stage. And I also want to convey this message. We will continue to work in this field together with our entrepreneurs. And not just for Turkey, but for all humanity. Technology is valuable only if it serves the humanity. And technological superiority doesn't give anyone the right to kill innocent people. Technological superiority doesn't give Israel the right to kill children. To have a fairer world, since everyone is a consumer of technology now, we aim to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to engage in technology development. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Minister, for important remarks. Mr. Mehmet Fatih Kacır, ladies and gentlemen, Minister of Industry and Technology of the Republic of Turkey. Now we'll proceed with our next session. It's called Driving Positive Impact via Innovation and Entrepreneurship. I now have pleasure of inviting to the stage CEO of Hepsi Burada, Nilhan Onal Gökçetekin.
Thank you. What a great honor to be here at the stage with our dear minister, dear entrepreneurs, from very young tech startups, from university students to investors, and not so young people like me as well. It's great to be all together. And today we would like to talk about driving positive change through entrepreneurship and innovation. This is amazing. This is fantastic. I lived 16 years abroad and came back to Turkey 1 year ago for this purpose, to drive value for Turkey, to drive positive change through innovation to my dear company, Hepsi Burada now. So there are 3 stories I would like to talk about. First one is about my experience as an entrepreneur. The second one is